question, man. I know everyone's probably been asking you about it, but, you know, how serious have any communications been with Top Rank regarding Mikey's future fights? I know you guys are 100% focused on Adrian Broner, but, you know, in terms of like the Crawfords, Lomachenkos, the Pacquiaos, how serious has any of that communication been?
Look, I've had those communications with some of Top Rank's people, matchmakers, and they say they all love those fights. They love those fights. Lomachenko's manager, Egis Klimas, a good friend of mine, he approached me and told me that he wants that fight for the future. We also want it, so we're serious about it. You know, I know that those are fights that we can make. You know, Freddie Roach has also talked to me. We talked about possibly doing a future fight against Pacquiao. He mentioned it already that he prefers Mikey over any other fighter out there. So the possibility is there. You know, we can't look past Broner, but if everything goes well with Broner and Mikey looks great, then, you know, those fights should happen, and I think will happen.
Now, potential weights for Lomachenko, would that be at 135?
I think it should be at 135. I think Lomachenko, I believe he's too small for 135, but if they want to move up to 135, Mikey's there. I think that's probably the easiest. I think 140 would just be too much for Lomachenko. He's not that big of a guy, you know, very skillful, but 135 would probably be his limit.
And then for Manny Pacquiao, is that going to be?
I think it will be. Pacquiao's a welterweight champion, so it would have to be for his title. Mikey doesn't have to come in at welterweight. Mikey come in at 142, 143, and that's still a welterweight fight. So, you know, Pacquiao's a small guy too. Pacquiao is not a big guy. Pacquiao walks around at 144, 145. You know, he's up there at that division because of the big fights. So those are perfect fights for Mikey.
Now, in terms of Terrence Crawford, I think there's history there. Did him and Mikey fight in the amateurs?
They fought in the amateurs. Yes, they did.
Okay. Is there something? I don't know, I've heard Terrence Crawford, you know, kind of call him out before, maybe kind of, you know, low-key, not really.
Definitely. There's been more talk about Lomachenko, obviously, and even Pacquiao, but Crawford's also there. But me personally, you know, to make a Crawford fight would have to be a huge pay-per-view fight, and that fight's not ready for that yet. I think Mikey beating, you know, Broner, that would make Mikey a huge star. Then a Lomachenko possible fight against Pacquiao, then that would make Mikey into the big star. Then we do the Crawford, then it would be big. I don't think it would be as big right now because of, you know, Crawford. He's a hell of a fighter, one of my favorite fighters, pound for pound. But he still doesn't bring those numbers for a big pay-per-view. But if Mikey's able to beat, you know, Broner, then somebody like Pacquiao, then it would be huge. Then we could do it. That's why from those 3 top-ranked fights, Crawford would be my last pick.
Okay.
Definitely.
Robert, I appreciate your time, man. Wish you guys the best of luck in this fight.
Appreciate it.